Welcome everybody. My name is Dr. Andrew Ma. I'm here to bring you a whole new podcast series featuring different leaders going through successful transformation and in an Asia perspective. There are so many noises around the world now about AI, and leaders these days really need to focus on the real signal, successful stories. How are the best practice able to drive successful AI transformation with the ROI? And here we are bringing leaders around Asia to talk about their own personal stories, how they overcome resistance, culture, and things like that. We believe this series will add value to your day-to-day leadership. Come and join us. Welcome to this podcast series. We are here with Sumir Bhatia, my good friend, President of Asia Pacific Lenovo Infrastructure Solutions Group. Thank you to be here.
Hey, thank you.
I still remember Sumir. It was 20 years ago?
Yeah,
A
maybe
little bit more than that, actually.
2010 actually when we met.
No, earlier.
Was it? Oh,
Earlier.
yeah, of course it
Nortel
was earlier.
was much
Yes,
earlier.
yes, it was.
We were working in the same
2010
company.
was here. It was like 2000.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
Hong Kong, in Tai Kung
Correct. It was 2000.
My cubicle was just across
Yes.
you, and we became good friends.
Yes.
And you were so graciously invite me. Hey, why don't you go to my home, which just happened to be in Tai Kung
It was in the same building.
Yeah,
It
you
was-
just walk across and see your wife and see your
Yeah,
kids.
yeah.
And I think you also host me for lunch, very
Yes.
yummy Indian lunch as well.
Yes,
So,
we
very good.
snuck in. I said, this is a break. Instead of
Yeah.
going, let's go to my place. Literally few floors down.
Yes, I still vividly remember. And you are known to be a great negotiator. And every time I need to buy the gadget, new laptop, new Palm Pilot, I say, Sumir, come with me. I know that you will help me to get a good bargain. And we went to a computer store
Yeah.
in Wan Chai.
When one I
number of
remember a few
times.
times.
Yeah.
And I think it was an excuse to also see what's the new toy out there. That was always exciting, right?
We were both fascinated with new
Yes.
toys, new gadgets.
Yes.
And I remember a few months ago, you were asking, oh, you saw me fly a drone.
Yes.
And say, oh, is that a good buy? Is that a good
Yes.
thing? And then back in the old times, we always talk about new
Yeah.
gadgets and things like
Yeah.
that. And I'm so glad here we talk about the latest
We
gadget,
still like our toys.
the AI gadget.
But I also like your jacket. If I had the memo, I would have worn one too.
So, Sumir, we both love gadget.
Yeah.
My epiphany moment was when I first used ChatGPT 3.5 in November 2022.
Right.
It said, whoa,
Yeah.
that is such a transformative tool. What was your feeling when you first encounter AI? Of course, it may not be ChatGPT. I'm sure Lenovo looked at AI way back before, right? What was the aha bing or really the moment when you touch AI?
So when you did the Chat GPT, it was a wow moment because you got something out of it, right?
I never expected that it could be so human
Right.
when it answered my question.
Correct. So you got something out of it. So, as you said at the outset, we like those shiny new objects, go down and check. But, when I look at technology and over the years, it's what was transformative was how it helped me and changed my life.
Oh.
To me, that's technology. If I use something, how has it changed my life? And there's been a few things that actually changed my life.
Yeah.
So you're gonna laugh if I tell you the first technology in my life, in my career that kind of helped me.
Yeah, what was it?
Was way back, I think in 94, 95, and this was in India. And it was a sunrise industry at that time, was a pager.
Oh, okay.
I knew you're gonna find this.
I think many audience may not know the
No,
pager
exactly.
today.
Well, my daughter wouldn't know either. But what happened was there were no mobile phones at that point of time. And I had at that time, my firstborn, my son, was born. He was a year or two, and I used to travel.
You also travel now.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
And at that point of time, the fact that my family could connect with me and I could connect with them was transformative. That I knew it was a simple thing like, don't call now because we're taking a nap, or what time are you back, etc. Or the fact that they were okay. That was transformative for me because that helped me. The other time, of course, that was short-lived. The pages were short-lived. But when I looked at that, was like, wow. The other part that actually helped me, and you'll again, you were associated with this, was back when we worked at Nortel. Very, very early on. Now, if you remember, we had the first VoIP.
Voice over IP.
And Nortel was one of the first ones where I remember going to the airport and sitting down and having a conversation. And people, of course, we didn't have the Bluetooth, and we'd walk around, to get a cup of tea, and my laptop would be here and I'd be walking. But the fact that you could be on conference calls, how it helped me is when I actually moved to Australia, if you remember.
Yes. I
decided at that point of time, I didn't move to Sydney or Melbourne. I moved to Perth, which was a remote office. Actually, that allowed me to make that decision to be able to actually have, I had an Asia Pacific role, so close to, same time zone. But that was one single device that actually helped me, which I think was very important, how technology needs to be something, whatever it is, transform or help your life. And I think those two things, there was a lot of things that wowed me, like the Chat GPT. Of course, it wowed me. And I was like, wow. Recently, we went to my wife's birthday in Hokkaido, and she used a GPT to
plan
exactly the itinerary, saying Sapporo base, day trip out, 4-day itinerary, driving, book hotels that actually have a car park or restaurants that have a car park.
Wow.
So, those sorts of, but at the end of the day, those were something that early in my career.
Great. You are also known not just only a negotiator, but a problem solver.
Oh, really?
In Nortel, they'll say, So there was a lot of problems we need to deal with at that time,
depends who you speak with. Some say I'm not the problem maker.
Yeah, you are the problem solver. So is there any technology that you say, there's something broken? Of course, nothing to do with Lenovo. No technology in Lenovo. But in your previous life, any technology that failed to live up to your expectation, and you say, I want to solve it. I want to make it better. And any such things?
Andrew, when I look at technology, I don't think it's always the technology that is a problem. It's sometimes the usage, the process of how you use the technology. It's very often the mindset of also the technology. So when I go back, in the good old days when everything wasn't available, simple things of, I've been a salesperson, card-carrying salesperson. Early in my career, I think deep in heart I still am. But the fact is that putting sales reports, at the end of the day, you go in, spend an hour to go and put sales report. It was tedious. It was terrible.
And maybe not too many people read it. And
exactly.
What's the so what moment?
And if I want to go back, how do I go get that back? Where's the data? Right? And there's certain technology that supported it. Could be that a simple thing like scanning that. I could not access it. To me, that's a technology failure. I believe I had the process, and I for my own time, because I hated doing that. I'll be honest with you. There's always parts of your job you don't like, and I never used to like. I hope my team's not listening to this because I keep telling them. But they're more automated than I was. But I made a process where I would start to do a particular template right after the team call, fill it up, which would save me time at the end. But to me, that very simple thing of a process of being able to actually get back. So, when we went shopping, right, in Wanchai, I remember, actually it was probably with you, I bought my first digital diary.
Oh, the Palm Pilot.
Palm Pilot. I don't know if you remember. We both bought one together.
Because you're trying to get a good bargain. If two,
so we
get
said,
a discount.
Well, if we buy two, what's a discount, right? So we both bought it. That was life-changing for me.
Yes.
simple thing
Yeah.
that I could keep my clients' birthdays. I could.
Your wife's birthday.
Oh yeah. And all those processes, that was changing. So I think before that, just that technology kind of failed for me because it wasn't able to actually come out while I was building the process. And I think any technology today, you can have the best technology, but if you don't have the process, you don't have a mindset to use it, those are big issues.
You remind me of the 2025, the most inspiring book that I read about AI is called Reshuffle. If you have not
I
read
haven't,
it,
but I will.
I will send it to you as a gift.
All right, thank you.
And the Professor Chaudhry from UC Berkeley, he said, if you really need to get the ROI of AI, it's not about better LLM. It's about redefining your process.
Exactly.
And the process, there's so much resistance to change on the existing SOP process.
Correct.
If you don't reinvent or re-engineer the process, you just use AI to summarize a PDF, to just rewrite your email, you never actually get the ROI.
No.
But the hard part is about re-engineering the process, redistribute, reshuffle the power dynamics, who own what part of the process, which one you can let people to let go of AI to do it. That is the hard part. And only if you solve those hard parts, you can really get the technology work for you. I think you agree with
Absolutely.
that,
I mean,
right?
on the process and governance and the importance of actually understanding ROI, I can sit for hours and talk about it. I'm a strong believer that you could, again, like I said, if you don't have the right processes, mindset, governance, most projects will not. I mean, whether it's AI, whether it's cloud, whether it's digital transformation, whatever it is, it will fail.
I am a very keen follower of your LinkedIn.
Thank you.
And you are really such a people leader. I really see you having all the selfies with your Korean team, your Australian team. Tell me more about in the age of AI. You are in a technology company, Lenovo. You are leading one of the most important group, the Infrastructure Solutions Group. Instead, I see you as a people leader. How do you actually see how you keep up with the latest tech at the same time you also invest in people? Tell me about your leadership philosophy.
So Andrew, I think, and thank you, that was very kind of you. But I think end of the day, a successful organization is all about people. It's all about motivation. It's all about the ability that you can do more. And I think it's very important to let people define. I mean, it's okay to define a path that where you want to go. That's my destination. Don't define paths for people. Don't say this is the way you need to go. Let people figure that out. They make mistakes, and it's good. It's like when you're a father. I'm a father. If you don't let your child fall, how will they know? And I think those mistakes are something that people learn. And I think the ability to let people, it puts the skin in the game. It brings people a pride to be able to do something, a pride of achievement. Versus, I mean, if you just go out there, do this, and take that path, it just, it's not fulfilling. I mean, think about us. If somebody tells us, even at senior over the years, and my best managers have been like that, being able to go and say, go and find this. And I've worked best on that. And if I work the best that way, why would I not let others work? And I think I'm just absolutely grateful. Our success is because of the people, and that's what works. And the importance of them, make them feel important. And I think end of the day, sometimes people have this aspect, oh, you're at this level, you're leading the business. Look, we all have a job. You have a job, I have a job, they have a job. and we're all doing different things, but we're all, I mean, the humility to work together is just fantastic. So I don't know, people is what turns this world around.
May I ask a rather challenging question? On one hand, Lenovo, your group is trying to say, oh, agentic AI is so much productivity. At the same time, you are so believe in people. Do you believe one day AGI will come very soon and can reach the capability of a person, of your human team, and how you actually, on one hand, you're saying AI is very, very productive. On the other hand, you believe in people. How you reconcile that?
Well, I see. First of all, I think any agentic AI or AI is something. It's a tool that helps us be better. You know, very often people do ask, will it take jobs away? Will it do? I think it's very simple that a person that doesn't adopt AI, there's a better chance of them being obsolete than those that are doing it.
Yeah.
No, whether it's a doctor, whether it's a lawyer, it's a person. It's you and I.
Yeah.
Not able to take and enhance our work so that we focus on areas that will actually enhance our output. I mean, you know, I told you about the job, some parts of our job that we don't like, you know? It's very simple. I mean, why would I spend hours, you know, I lead a amazing team across Asia Pacific.
Yeah.
Obviously, we have great customers. We work for the customers. But at the end of the day, we have targets to meet. Why would I spend hours and hours, which I probably have in the past, spending what's my pipeline? What would I actually get? What's the best supply? I want to use AI for that. But where it comes strategic, the passion, the emotion, right?
And building trust with customers.
Building trust with the customer.
Yeah.
To be able, and you're absolutely right. Trust with the customer. It is what that passion and that human being brings in.
Customer will never trust an AI robot. They will only
Right.
trust
Like
a sincere Sumir.
Like I wouldn't use agentic AI for sweet nothings for my wife, right? I'll do it myself. The emotion has to come from here, right?
You may ask AI for suggestion or gift. You still want to personally give it to your wife and saying that this is chosen by you, not AI, right?
Well, that's assistance, correct?
Yes. I know your job is now putting the infrastructure to enable AI agents to now doing more and more work. Some may be as important as in medical decision making and things like that. We all know at this point we still have hallucination. AI still have limitation. I'm sure you have a sense of responsibility. Wow, we are building infrastructure to support that, and you can easily make mistake. How would you ensure what you built are not amplifying the mistake, but maximizing the value alignment with human?
Yeah, that's a great question, you know. So, you know, first is to go deliver a solution. I think the first hallucination is that if any one company can believe that they can deliver a solution to a customer, just end to end.
Yeah.
It takes partnerships. It takes obviously you know, investments and other aspects. But partnerships are key. So let me tell you what we do is that first is starting about partnerships. You know, with whether it's with Intel, AMD, NVIDIA, Microsoft, and the very you know, making sure we have these partnerships. It's in our DNA, and partnerships have always been there ever since we've been a company, and we do it really well. Why? Because we value. We believe that there's certain parts we need partnership.
Yeah.
So the other part is investment in our infrastructure. So, you know, we invested about $2 billion a few years ago. In fact, we started investing in AI infrastructure long before anybody. Today, we have about 80 plus platforms and recently launched some more inference platforms at
I saw
Tech
it in
World.
GES and CS, yes.
And these platforms what happens is that working with our partners, making sure we're coming up with validated solutions.
Yes.
That they are working with a specific partner or multiple partners. They're tested. There's specific benchmarks. Like today, if you look at our benchmarks, we are actually way ahead of any of our competition. And this is on websites of our partners.
Yes.
So we're way ahead.
Yeah.
So this is very important to us. Lastly, very important. So you have the typical technology partners. But how do I bring a solution to a customer? Which way I talked about an outcome-based. Sometimes it's small ISVs that are building software or in optical AI that could be in loss prevention, customer retention, but they're not that big. How do they bring all this to the world, and how do they make sure, to your point, that they're able to bring it up in a complete validated solution? So we actually have a work, a platform which actually brings them in, right? And this platform, what it does, and it is not like bringing hundreds and thousands of them, right?
It's like a sandbox where they can
Correct.
play with it,
Where
and they
we
can,
actually bring them. It's called the AI Innovators Program.
I see.
And we bring them in and we validate in the entire stack and take it out. So now from a customer standpoint, it becomes a lot easier to be able to, if I can use a cliche term, like literally plug and play, because you have the industry leaders, you have an ISV, you have a technology infrastructure, as opposed to saying, here, this is infrastructure, go and do your stuff.
So it's more than just POC. It's not just proof of concept. You have to go extra mile than that.
Oh, absolutely. So we do actually have where customers, like I talked about loss prevention, right?
Yes.
There's millions of dollars that automated checkouts lose every week, every day.
Yeah.
But just with loss prevention, using Vision AI, right, can just save immediate and save conflict also at the checkout.
Yes.
So these are actual production solutions in manufacturing and healthcare.
Yeah, you have to be 99.99%.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like, look, I mean, is there issues involved? But there's, there always is. But it is having validated. You have a more secure solution that is actually truly validated and tested.
Yeah. So Sumir, I remember you are a big sports fan. Cricket, rugby, anything,
any
right?
sport,
any sports. And I just read that Lenovo is a key tech partner of coming FIFA. I can't wait for the FIFA game that I want to watch. So, as a sports fan too, one thing that I hate to see is the competitors or the athletes just use tech to enhance, and whoever have the greatest tech seems to win out. And that will be an unfair advantage to those country or those athletes have access to AI or technology. Would that diminish the value of equality, sportsmanship? Since you are a sportsman, you're also a big proponent of using tech into this. How do we avoid that situation happening?
Yeah. So first of all, if you look at AI, it's about this entire us being a tech partner. First of all, very proud of it. We are also technology partners of F1 and the Sphere.
Yeah.
Now, this is about, think about this, right? You and I like football, soccer, in
tennis,
some parts of the world, they call it.
Yeah.
We can't be and see a game. But when I watch it, I want to be in an immersive environment. I want to be part of that. And this is what AI can actually bring.
And metaverse or the virtual reality.
Exactly, right? And also about, and you talked about sport, the analytics of it, right? In the World Cup, yes, they use technology. Like, for example, how do they go? You have the football AI. That's an app. Think of that as GPT for football for the coaches.
Yes.
And that would be available to all the participants there, right? How do you go and use that analytics a better way? And I think this is a world where on every sport, analytics and AI is being used. You look at how it's being used in the safety, crowd safety, digital twins. That's little
It's
maps,
marvelous technology.
maps to ensure that they're going to the game on time, going to the right section.
Yeah.
3D, avatars of players,
Yeah.
making sure that the game is fair.
Yeah.
To look at, like offsides and other part to assist the human beings, right?
Yeah.
Not. You're not going to see a referee, a robot out there.
Yeah.
You're still going to have referees. You're going to have.
Yeah.
So I think it's a huge enhancement of how technology is being used, and it's just getting better. I mean, if I look at anything like recently the F1s, if you watch, I mean, it's great watching them.
Oh yeah.
The kind of
It's a
technology,
different
and that's all.
angle, and you can just follow in a very immersive experience that we never experienced before.
Exactly, and us being fans gives you so much of insights. Today, it's not just about watching the sports, but understanding your favorite sports person. What is the best, whatever sport? What's the best speed? What's the best number of goals, etc. Knowing that in a comfortable space is just amazing, and I think it just touches. In fact, I think it's the other way around, that this will help reach millions and actually billions of people around the world, and make life enjoyable a lot more, to be able to see this and have that immersive, and sports is a great equality. Everyone can have access to it, and that's the beautiful thing. And that doesn't mean you have to be in the stadium.
Yeah,
that's a beautiful thing.
I
In your
wish,
smartphones.
I wish one day, I probably cannot afford a FIFA live ticket, but if I could pay such that I have the almost 90% experience,
Right.
With half the price, there may be more people enjoying the live experience.
We had our Tech World at the CES at the Sphere, and I was very fortunate to be there. But it's such an immersive experience sitting there, watching. That's what technology brings, and that's I see that as a big future. Just being able to be a part of this, it's just mind blowing.
So Sumir, let me shift gear a little bit. When I approached you for remember back in mid last year, I said, I have this podcast idea. I may tentatively call it 5% podcast, based on the MIT research saying that 95% of the company not able to get the AI ROI. I remember you vivid. I think this is not fair. I think they measure it just too stringently or something like that. If MIT do another study this year, would that be 5%? Would that be 10%? 15%? Based on your observation, and what it takes to be really successful transformation. I think you may argue that it may not be as low as 5%, but I think we agree. AI transformation is not just putting in the hardware and the software. We talk about the process re-engineering and things like that. How do we help Asia organization to be more successful?
So look, again, and I think you said it, I'm just going to echo what you just said, whether it's 5, 10, 10%. The fact is, there was a lot of POCs. There were a lot of science projects, right? It was just like the cloud days where everybody ran in, and it was departments going into the cloud. And once you're in the cloud, you were stuck. You're getting bills. It was like Hotel California. You could always check in, but you could never check out. You don't want that to happen in AI. You don't want that. It's very scary because you're using data, and there's science projects. There's that don't go into fruition. In a way, it's good because it helps change mindsets. It talks about acceptance to go in there. But I was in this very interesting. I was in a panel in Japan, and someone mentioned there that this is the dawn of AI. It's like if it was 24 hours, this is the 5 a.m., right? And I used this example somewhere, and somebody stood up and said, well, I don't think it's 5 a.m., I think it's 2 a.m. You know, so what's happening is that it's so, if this is 24 hours, so rapidly changing. Maybe when that was probably 2 a.m. Maybe it's 3 a.m. now.
You put it at 2 or you put it at 3?
Well, whatever. That could be a
Yeah.
point of discussion. But I think the clock is turning very quickly. Very, very quickly.
Faster than I ever seen.
Correct.
We have seen.
And I will not see this in our lifetime.
We haven't
the way,
seen such,
if you think about this 6 months ago to 12 months ago, has it changed? Immensely.
Tremendously.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'll give you one example. So we did this CIO playbook, and we did this with independent with IDC. They would checked about 900 CIOs, asking them questions.
Yeah.
And we've done this for the third year. Now, last year, basically the first year they came back. They said, what's the first priority? And the first priority that most of the CIOs came up is, we want to implement GPT, right? You know what? Last year, the latest, what's the priority? Governance, right? ROI. By the way, ROI this year has come down, getting more realistic to a 2.x. Previously, it was 3.3. Okay. So people are also realizing what ROI I want. I need to be realistic.
Yeah.
But the most important is governance, personal productivity. Yes, in technology, would I use GPT? But that's not number one.
No.
Because ROI is on there. To use that ROI, what do I want? I need GPT for that ROI. I need a certain technology for that ROI.
Yeah.
So that's changed.
Yeah.
So I think your question, how could we help in Asia Pacific, getting to that specifically, is that I think customers, anyone doing a project, right? Be very clear what outcome you want to do. There's a lot of data. Select your data. Very often, and we always say to go big, start small.
Yeah.
Right? Don't rush into everything.
Yeah.
You have an output. Now, also we say, I'd love to sell as much infrastructure as possible.
Of course.
But I always advise, this is not about bringing a bulldozer and taking everything and bring new shiny objects into your data center.
Yeah.
It's about looking at the workload. See what you want to do. See an out. Also, see where's the biggest pain point. Now, it could be internal ops. It could be HR. It could be if you're a legal firm. It could be supply chain. Look at what you want to improve.
Yeah.
And start there. Look at a low-hanging fruit. Very often, that low-hanging fruit could be a watermelon.
Yeah. Don't
Right?
solve world hunger, but trying something small, manageable.
Instead of a little thing,
Get some small win
you
first.
can trip across some watermelons and say, "Wow," and that could be a real low-hanging fruit. So, so I think that's where it is. And see, the other thing, where we talk about implementation of these projects, I think very important is that even if whether it's an agentic AI, it's a new app that you brought in. Actually, usage, adoption within organizations is still very low. I've got this great thing, but how do I show value to my organization that you should use it? Right?
Yeah.
That's a mindset change.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yes, I've got this great thing. And this is where within the organization, you actually have to amplify it. You have to show the benefits.
Yes.
Don't expect there's a switch there. Boom, everybody's going to start using it.
No.
That's a big challenge.
People have natural resistance to use
We
the
see it.
existing way of
We
doing
see it.
things, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We've got some great tools. A simple thing, you ask in your organization as simple thing is like Copilot, how many of you use it? Okay. We now started using it in recording of teams, and we do. How often do you actually use it for a business? Recently, simple thing, using it when we're trying to hire talent acquisition. You could actually go in there and say, this is my profile. Pulls up profiles. Hey, these are great profiles. Wow. And it's just about imagination. So it's about how you're using it. And this is important. Otherwise, the tool is you. You can come up with the best thing.
Yeah.
If your organization is not using it to that ability.
Yeah. Yeah. when I go in depth with the MIT report,
Yeah.
I see that one insight that I usually use that to phrase it with CIO, with CEO when I talk to them or AI transformation. Most of the company, the 95% or whatever that failed, is
What are the number?
overemphasize on the importance of hardware and software, but underemphasize or underinvest on the peopleware.
Yeah.
It's about dealing with resistance of change. When you redefine new workflow that have agent, then who owns the workflow? Who is the PIC? Who, when you actually have few departments co-own that existing workflow, now with the new workflow, who owns it anymore? Who owns it? Who has the power structure? All this you need to solve. If you don't solve those are the hard problem.
Yeah, it is.
It's the people, trust and all this.
And
If
it's
you
outcome.
don't deal with that,
Correct.
even if you have the best Lenovo server, it may not actually motivate people to really use it wisely. You agree?
You know,
with that,
absolutely.
right?
And again, the governance of it all.
Yes.
How are you using data? Well, you know, what data are you using? What is what's a process involved? Who, to your point, who in the has access to certain data? Like, for example, even if you have an internal employee productivity, there's certain data that you want only with some people. You don't want with everyone. Like, you don't want everyone's salaries information to everyone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But you want access to the employee productivity of some data.
Yes.
So, those governance is very, very important part of it, especially when it comes to data. And this is where I said you cannot have these science projects with data just going out while, as it happened in the cloud, where a lot of people went into the cloud taking certain apps and doing that.
Well, governance, a lot of people say it's an afterthought.
Yes.
But I think what you are
changing.
saying that it's not an afterthought anymore. No. It has to be built into the transformation process.
It's scary if it's an afterthought, especially in today's world, right? You have to, and I think a lot of CIOs, Andrew, that I speak to, realize that this is top, and it's not a surprise this came up. It was a pleasant surprise that it came up that quick. But speaking to CIOs, that everybody was talking about it. Sorry, you were saying. Yeah.
No. I think that's goes along well. It cannot be an afterthought, but we also want to, if it's the governance become so important, like the security issue, would it striveful? Would it actually distinguish the fire of innovation? But if it's put too late, you don't want to become Deloitte, right? The Deloitte make a big hiccup of all the like you have the hallucinated report they give to the Australian government, and it end up to tarnish the brand. So how do you advise governance early, late, or when is the best time? And the government should be just CIOs, chief security officer, or do you think you need the HR or other stakeholders to involve in the governance process?
I think governance is something everybody needs to be involved in. This is where I think a very clear direction. See, the governance is not about stifling you. It should actually help you grow and thrive.
Yeah.
That's what it should be. And if it's stifling, then it's probably not the right governance, right? But I think this is about where, right at the top management, right? You've got to make sure you're communicating with the organization what you're trying to do with this. I mean, don't start a project without communicating what the outcome is.
Yeah.
And I think that's very important. You have to have your teams. You went back earlier about people being in that, having skin in the game. This is an outcome. This is what we want to do with it. And that's where governance comes in. Because again, data is very important, and this is how we want to do it. So to answer your question, I don't think it should be an afterthought. And many times it is an afterthought, but I think as more and more organizations look at it, as they go and expand, rinse and repeat their projects, governance needs to be really, really on top of it. And I do.
And you see more and more leaders putting that into the higher priority.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm seeing more and more people that are actually going into it, talking about governance. In fact, when we go present these things on the CIO playbook, and we're currently out in our tech world and tech days across Asia Pacific. We finished Indonesia and Singapore. We've got a few coming. It doesn't come as a surprise. We talk to media, we talk to others that, governance is up there. And I see CIOs, I was actually, when you're talking about it, nodding their heads in the audience and when we talk. And this is important. It's not easy.
It's not easy.
Not saying that everybody's got it wrapped around, but this is where I believe we can help. We've got consulting. We can actually go in and talk to customers. In fact, we have something which is a fast start also. Which actually goes into all those aspects. And as I said, go small to go big, right? And we highly encourage, it goes into what do you want to do? What's the data? What's the outcome you want to achieve?
Kind of like a boilerplate that you can start with, right?
Exactly. So we can definitely help out in those areas.
That's good. You are such a people person, as we talked about earlier. Is there any chance when you walk into a customer and say, oh, I want to invest in Lenovo latest server technology, but when you are sitting in the room, you feel that actually the culture is not ready, the people are not ready, the HR is fighting with the IT group. Actually, you'll be surprised. I have seen many HR and IT fighting for budget, fighting for power, for AI transformation.
And technology
like
also. Someone's in one technology camp, someone's in the other. Yes.
So when you see they are in such a mess and you think, oh, they want to buy a Ferrari, but the driver is not ready, do you still go for it? Or what kind of approach you would? Because I know Lenovo primarily selling the technology, but you are a people person. When you sense that is something not right, how do you actually approach and help them to go through that successfully?
So I think at Lenovo, as an organization, we're very, very customer centric, very customer focused, and if you see our repeat buys with customers, very, very high. And I think this is not about a one-time selling. This is about a long-term. And sometimes you have to. So our job is also to go in there and advise, right? It's about saying that give them options. And this is where it comes into our partnership. If they want a specific technology, absolutely. But our job is to go and talk about different options to them. In fact, I was in the meeting a CIO and his team for breakfast in Manila a few months ago, and we were talking about a certain technology. And then the conversation actually went into another technology. And I said, look, there's a lot of options that you can look at this point of time. This is one of them. And the CIOs and his assistant CIO basically said, see, this is what I was talking about. This is great. This is a great thing that we have. And we went on that conversations going in and give us some benefits. And the CIO, got that focus that, yes, a vendor is also talking about it. I had no idea that they were going in that. But it's about conversations. And it's about being open to
discovery
that.
the problem.
And so unknowingly went in there, gave credibility to his assistant that, this is and he asked me, do you have any other customers that have actually done it? I said, in fact, what we can do is I can introduce you to that customer, pick up the phone and talk to them. Happy to do that. And you can go through some of their pain points that they did in migration and those aspects. So I think at the end of the day, it's not fun just going and selling boxes and getting out of that, right?
We have both done that. Right?
Yeah, we've done that, exactly. And that's not fun. This is about solving a problem. I know solving a solution sometimes is a cliche, but it's outcome for the customer that helps them grow and thrive. I've always said this, as an organization, you can be in two stages. You can either be the disruptor or be disrupted. Right. There's nothing in the middle.
You're either on the table or be the menu, right?
Correct. Right. So and here's the thing in today's world, you can be the disruptor today, but in 6 months
you'll be disrupted, can be.
Correct. So you have to be on top of it. You can't, as I'm the king here and everything's good. There'll be a a company that is just formed in a garage or an apartment or mom's apartment
Yeah.
that is going to go and take you out.
Yeah.
Right. So this is where it's very important to have an organization, a team like us across. We have our services, we have our different groups that can actually talk to customers and say, hey, this is what it is. And that's what we believe. And to go back and see that grow, Andrew,
Yeah.
it's just fantastic. And see if
Yeah.
there's an outcome. That's really, really cool.
I think 3 years ago, there were still a lot of skeptics about the AI, but I think this year we kind of crossed the chasm already. I think less and less skeptics, but
Oh, there's still a lot of them. But
still a lot of them. Okay, all right. So how you deal with those resistance to change? I'm sure when you actually present a solution, there will be some, oh, that's great, but some, that's not ready for us. How do you deal with all those resistance to change and those skeptics in the boardroom or in the when you approach customers?
So I think I always say that it's not a matter of, goes back to the disruptor or disrupted, right?
Yeah.
So it's not a matter of if, but it's basically when you're going to change. So there has to be a mindset shift in the organization, and I think this is led from the top. The top.
So the CEO, the C-suite had to buy
the
it,
C-suite. It goes to the CEO that hey, this is where we have to change. See, if you look at the role of the CIO, is very different today. And I used to say this when there was a cloud environment. Versus that's like ancient. Today, it's like the business owner that can change the way that organization, the trajectory of that organization. Totally change.
Yeah, they are
it's
now
all lights
CAIO now, right?
Correct.
Do you feel that now you're saying that CIO job is changing? Are they just moving to CAIO, or do you see different?
See, you can call it whatever you want, but the objective is that you are now focusing on a very different, ROI. What's the direction of the company? It is not just about keeping the lights on. It is about how you're changing that. So that is a huge, huge change. And sometimes if you do have someone, the naysayer, first of all, you have to look at it. Is that a regular naysayer? Or is it by nature, is that person always a nay?
Always say no in their personality.
Correct.
Or is that person,
or is it this? Because
Yeah.
sometimes it's important to have these people also to keep you honest.
Same, keep you honest, yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And keep that train on the track.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, you can get swayed so easily that, this is not about give me one AI, give me two AIs or whatever. It's about an outcome. But you can be swayed with that. So it's sometimes you need to keep balanced without, to your point, going and buying the Ferrari or the big change. Will this be an outcome for my organization?
Yeah.
So I think sometimes those sort of people are important.
So Sumir, we are both in helping companies go through AI transformation. I'm sure we have seen the pivot moment where before it was GPT, chatbot, now it's agentic workflow. So agentic workflow means that you let your agent to do some decision making for you and use whatever tools to accomplish your task, which on paper it sounds brilliant. But to me, is there something that you will never let your agentic AI to do that decision for you, that it will only be reserved for Sumir or human to make?
Well, I think anything emotional, like I said earlier, my sweet nothings to my wife, I'll keep it to myself. I won't even take any advice on that. It'll sound fake.
Yeah.
But I think, look, the part about anything to do with emotion, I think empathy. You talked about people side of it. Those are areas that I think it should be used as a tool. The agentic AI, I wouldn't really use that.
So you don't want an agent to know your wife is really mad and want you, your wife is mad and you don't want that?
No, I don't. Okay. I think I want that as an experience. And also, then I can pretend I don't know. So,
Smart, wise man, wise man.
yeah.
Yeah.
So no, I mean, I think anything really, the agent can't bring in that, for whatever it is, the empathy of us humans. You know, you might think it'll get better, but that's part, the emotion. I think those are important. You know, you mentioned earlier, the pulse of the customer. Yes, I can get data on the customer. Who's there? What does she or he like? What's the style? Like, I always go before going seeing customers. I always ask this customer, ask when I get a briefing, like, what sort of a person is she or he? Are they? Do they like small talk? Or are they to
What
the
the
point?
interest?
Or what's
Yeah.
their interest? You know, those sort of
Yeah.
things,
Yeah.
which always help. But at the end of the day, I am taking that input and putting my emotion part to it.
Using a human way to touch a
Yeah,
human.
correct. I mean,
Yeah.
you take it, and I think there's that emotion part. Yes.
A little bit more on
My
that.
my my wife may like it, but I don't know. But I don't think I will.
So lately, I've been playing with the AI glasses. I'm sure.
Yeah,
Have you
yeah.
have
I
you got
did.
one
I
yet?
did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And we're
na-
coming up with them
so
devices.
so I have a debate, not debate, discussion with my wife. Hey, because she always said that I'm not showing enough empathy and don't know her emotion. I was thinking, oh, I'm now wearing this glass. I now the AI can scan your face, your facial expression, and say now you are 50% mad and 20% angry or whatever, and I can know and just in time to tell me, hey, your wife is mad. Go and talk to her. Do you think this will enhance the relationship or this will destroy the relationship?
Now you're a brave man. There's some things. There's
So she
something.
is more the against side, and I don't know what's if you had that discussion with your wife, what would you
I don't know.
say?
I've not had that discussion. Maybe tonight I will.
Tonight you
I will
will.
ask
Yeah.
ask her.
Yeah.
But look, it just goes back to the point. More than her being mad or happy or whatever, right? If that was able to say something like she's not well without us knowing, or she's going to come with a flu, I can see a bit
The early
that
symptom you can
early
early
symptoms
detection.
which
Yeah.
doesn't say,
Yeah.
hey, I think there's a sniffle coming up, and we say, oh wow, turn up the air conditioning or whatever, right? Let's take some herbal tea, those sort of things. I mean, I that would help.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you draw the line. So physical illness or
Correct.
predict that will, but emotionally you still feel that it has been reserved for human only.
See, I mean, to different people, different things. In maybe in some counseling and other parts, if it helps someone, that's great, right? Personally for me, maybe not. But look, I mean, that's a beautiful thing about how you're using AI. What is important to you may not be important to me, and what is important to me it may not be important to you. Like, I'll tell you my biggest value that I get out of the AI glasses
Yeah.
is actually being able to, one is when I'm walking my dog, I'm able to actually take pictures instead of holding things. I like
Yes.
taking pictures, and the other
Yeah.
part as I walk is actually listen to music. So that's my biggest value. To my wife has that. That's not her value. She doesn't listen to that music. So I think it's how you use that technology, and it just goes back to what I said at the outset. And when I gave you the example of the pager and the VoIP, and it's probably not the answer you were looking for. It's probably not a wow moment for many people. Like, pager, what's he saying? But to me, it was life changing.
So it's different people may draw a different line.
Correct. It
Yeah.
was absolute life changing for me that I was able to be connected to my family
Anywhere you are, right?
anywhere I was.
Yeah.
And there's moments I remember
Yeah.
still, right? Wow, I'm traveling, and wow, okay. Or like, don't call now, baby's sleeping.
Yeah.
Instead of me, just calling up there was no mobile, so land phone,
Yeah.
brrr, rings and rings. Don't call now, baby's sleeping. Simple thing.
Yeah.
That's life changing.
No, those small things are.
But that was a technology outcome.
Yeah.
So I'm just equating it to AI. I'm equating it to any technology. It is not about, we love our shiny object. I mean, you do, I
We
do too.
both know.
We always will, right? But how does it, and we have bought some shiny objects that are sitting inside our closet forever, right? Which we haven't used as much as we should. But it's what you use it for and how it helps you.
We're coming to a close to the podcast, but let's end this podcast with a little bit more personal side. You and I are both father, proud daddy.
Yes.
You have a son and a daughter. I have one daughter. Your daughter, I think, is my daughter is 21.
22. She turned 22. Yes.
My daughter will be graduating next year. Many people saying because of AI, the new grads will have a really tough time to find jobs, and the job market will be disrupted because of agentic AI and things like that. So if there is a young person coming in your Lenovo group and you're stuck in the elevator and the elevator happen to kind of malfunction, and he was just, oh, Sumir, what is one piece of career advice that help young people, new grad like me, to survive in the AI world? How would you advise that?
First, it'll be nice if somebody asks me. That'll be nice. Usually they don't
I want to ask you. I want to ask you.
Usually they don't ask.
Yeah, they're too
But
timid.
you know,
for you.
it's unsolicited advice is not good. But if somebody was asked, first of all, your statement of saying, with AI there'll be less. I respectfully challenge that, and
So
I
you're
think
net positive type
I
of
think
guy.
I think
The job
I mean,
market is
think
net
about
positive.
this. Think about this. See, whether it's a job or opportunities, there's so many. Think about when we were coming up, right? I remember when I was studying, it was always, are you going to be a doctor or an engineer? And you don't do one of those two, you're
screwed.
you're not very smart.
Yeah.
Today you look at the opportunities.
So what are the opportunities?
Oh, you have opportunities that you could be in the, you look at people that are in this podcast. They do this for a living. See the influencers. They do this for a living. Could you have done this like 20 years ago?
That's a new podcast. Was never
it's
career was never
it's
heard of
changed
20
people's
years ago.
lives,
Yeah.
right? The ability to, I'll give you one example. Okay, even with technology, right? You can actually, as an artist, whether you're a teacher, whether you're a guitar teacher or whatever, the number of places that you can reach. My advice to the person would be, right, is look at what are you passionate about, right? And I gave you very one-end answers of going out of what we do, being whether you're a music teacher or whatever it is, right? Yeah. You can be right at the world, right?
Yeah.
Do something with passion, but also very important, right? Make sure that it's okay to experiment, because you'll never know, you might find something passionate, right? Be open to change. Be curious. Learn. I'll tell you, there's not a day that goes by that I go up to one of my technical guys and I have no problem asking them. There's no such thing as and I tell the team, there's no such thing as a dumb question. It's there's always a dumb answer, right? So with that philosophy, I go and ask the dumb question, like what does this stand for?
Yeah, what's MCP?
What's this? Of course, we have our
Yeah.
GPT,
Yeah.
and I use it all the time. Hey,
Yeah.
what does this mean?
Yeah.
What is it? So there is an opportunity for you to learn and find that. And that's what you should be doing.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of opportunities that, it's not the natural. I was talking to my daughter is actually studying to be a clinical psychologist. It's a long, apart from graduation, you go internship, you do. By the way, I'm the guinea pig at home, so I get a lot of it. But
she psychoanalyze you all the
yeah,
time.
but again, going back to
Yeah.
what the mind,
Yeah.
But the point, we're talking. The fact is that it doesn't have to be like her job. She can do a great amount of work-life balance, right? She can think of actually be living in a remote area, doing it online, being able to actually reach a lot more people, you know, add to society, and you think about what this technology has actually brought to people. Like, I mean, the way we live, learn, and how you can contribute. I think it's great. Great opportunities that they have in front of them.
I think you started with passion. Let me add a little bit on that. A lot of people say confused about interest with passion. Interest, I'm interested in painting. I always challenge people. What you use the term passion. Passion means that you are willing to put great learning effort to make this you become a world class in what you passion. That's what really truly passion means. Passion is willing to suffer because you have a calling for such. I think many young people confuse about interest and passion.
Actually,
And I think you are talking more the later part.
I am. And to me, a definition of passion is probably, it's not as elegant as what you said, but I put it like in the morning when you wake up and as you're brushing your teeth, despite having a lousy day the previous day, you're waiting to go and do it again. That's passion. And obviously we get tired. We want holidays. We want to go and take it up. But you want to go and do that. And that's, I've as you said, more than 30 years, 3 decades I've been doing this. I love it. People always say, when you retire, I haven't thought of any retirement right now because I just wake up in the morning exactly and brush. I want to go and do it. Am I pained from the previous day? Have I had a rough day going through it? Yeah. But I want to do it again. So to me, that's passion. That starts from there. It's deep inside. And then it's not work, right? And then meeting a.
So for people who wants to join such a good leader in the
you're very kind.
So if people watching this, how do you select the people in interview? If you have a secret to tell my podcast audience, what are the things that you look for? Is it GPA? Is it personality? How you screen people to be in your team?
Okay, so let the secret out. It was one of the things I looked is, there's this attitude and aptitude, right?
Tell me more.
I think learnings, what to do, can be learned. But if you don't have the right attitude, you can't.
What's your testing methodology to test the attitude? What are the questions you will ask? What are the tests that you were trying to, in an interview, like 45 minutes? How would you sense that attitude?
Well, simple. Now you're really letting me out. So I was, the next people know, but ask a question of, I'm talking to you about this job, but what I say, you join, and I want you to go and do something else. What's your response? Okay. Oh, no. I mean, to me, that's a huge change because why, if you're not willing to change? Because guess what? My business is changing. I can't put in a piece of an R&R to you that this is what it is. But 2 months down the line, something changed.
So you look at the micro expression when you deal, how they deal with change.
Well, I want to see the response. Are you okay? So that to me, to an extent. And look, you asked me this and it just came into my mind because, that's what I typically would do. I'd see the scenario, but I want to test. Are you, that attitude is really important. Is that a go-getter? I mean, look, in our day job.
Did they see fire? You see fire in the eyes.
Yeah, you've got to see fire in the belly. You want to, really, you wake up in the morning, the same thing, brush. I want to go and do this. So to me, that's really important. And I think if you really look at, that's what makes leaders. That's what makes performers. The can-do attitude, the willing to adjust. Hey, look, being humility. I think that's very important.
Humility.
And I think that's one thing I love at Lenovo is just the humility, right from our chairman to everyone. It's such a humble organization. You can walk into anybody's door. I know. I have people at my office coming and knocking. I just want to go and say hi. People saying that they walked into me like 2 years ago. We don't have, and this is not me saying it's me. It's like everyone. You can just walk in. So to me, that's really good. And you want to fit into that culture to be able to have that humility, to be able to, hey, listen, if there's something wrong, I don't mind rolling up myself, help you with picking up some boxes. Just because I'm an executive doesn't mean I can't do that. Hey, I don't mind holding the door. So that sort of culture, you fit into the culture versus now, those things are important.
That's good. Last piece of advice to the audience here. So let me start first, and so give you a little bit more thinking time because it's not in my. So I would advise most of my people, most of leaders who go through AI transformation. My advice is don't treat AI as a passive tool. Treat AI as a idea sparring partner, and change your system prompt. Because most of the AI Copilot GPT, they are making you kissing your ass too much. Change your system prompt and go and challenge me in whatever in my prompt, and point me out any blind spot I have in my assumptions in my prompt, and give me alternative perspective. When I ask you to do A, please come up with B and C that may have alternative value that I can consider. So I change that system prompt. That helps me tremendously.
I think that's a great.
So that's one tip that I want to give it to the audience here.
There you go.
What any good tip?
That's a good tip for me too, right?
Okay.
I mean, and see, I think it's a great thing because it's very private. It's okay to also bring out your flaws, right? Because you want to accept it. I think that's a great thing.
Yeah. So any similar advice for audience here?
Yeah, I think again, use AI, use tools that come in to know that this is for your benefit. To go learn, constantly learn. See, you talked about the skeptic, the person not believing in it. Sometimes you have to take the leap of faith. Look, the whole world is changing rapidly. You have to take that leap of faith and be that curious, learn, play with that tool, and it's take advice from friends and see what they're using it for.
Yeah.
I gave you examples of, and even at work. By the way, this when I gave you that example of using talent in the market was with a colleague out of Australia. She sent me this. Hey, I said, "Ooh, wow! How do you get this?" Oh, I just put it into Copilot and did it. I said, "Whoa! I've never done that." So it's about learning from others how they have used it. Like you just said something, and I thought that was just fantastic.
So keep an open mind. Always look for good practice and try it yourself.
Yeah, I'll tell you a tip. I was out for dinner last night with a colleague, it's and a partner, and there was a wine list out there, and I took a picture of it.
And ask ChatGPT which one.
No, more than that. It looked at not the picture of the wine, of the menu.
And see what pairs.
So not pair. It said, okay, choose a wine that is medium to full body, that is good value among this list. I've never done that. Boom! It came out. I gave him. I was So there's something.
tip.
It was a learning, right?
Yes, it
Normally,
is.
what you do is you take a picture. What do you think of this?
Yeah, the prompt is just to simplify. You can ask deeper questions.
Yeah,
right?
so you can go deeper. And
Yeah.
I thought, I've never done that. I said, wow, you could do that. Great. So it's limitless.
Yes.
It's to what your mind has.
It's not limited by sometimes ChatGPT can unleash a lot of imagination. It's limited by your imagination.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
The other cool thing is I have started. Now, I don't know which one is the best. Is it Copilot? Is it GPT? Is it?
it changed all the time. The leadership board
So I
changed
have
all the time,
multiple
right?
ones.
Yeah.
That I fire the same queries. Is
See
it
which
Grok?
one has the best,
Is it
right? Yeah.
Perplexity?
Yeah, I do
And then
the
I
same,
see
yeah.
in the different. Where am I getting? So now you over time you start leaning towards something. You do it on Gemini. You do it on this.
Yeah.
So those are
No,
things.
those are
But
good
feel
tips.
comfortable what you do. But look, I mean, at the end of the day, you have to. It's fun.
Yeah, you cannot say, "Oh, my staff use that," but you don't use it.
Yeah.
You have to use it yourself. You create that discernment. Unless you get your hands dirty, those are second-hand AI discernment. You need to develop your own discernment by using it day to day.
You bet. Yeah.
Thank you.
Exactly. Thank you.
No, really appreciate that.
Yeah.
We should do that more. And I really, every time I have a chance to talk to Sumir, I learn something. And really appreciate your time to
Likewise.
come for this podcast.
And the next time I'm going to bring my leather jacket.
Yes.
Huh?
Beat me for that. Yeah.
No, we won't beat. We'll get
We
a
can
dress code.
showcase it all
Yeah.
together. Yeah.
We'll do the show. It looks very cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I want to express my sincere appreciation of Sumir Bhatia from Lenovo. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Andrew.
Yes. Thank you for watching and listening to this podcast. If you want to learn from more leaders like what we just interviewed, please stay in touch, contact us, and subscribe to our podcast. See you next time.